what's Meta doing? Again, we talked about it a moment ago, but I am looking at this post from Mark Zuckerberg that just hit on Facebook. Have you guys seen
Take one?
Defining year, he calls it, for AI. That's 2025. He expects Meta will be the leading assistant serving more than 1 billion people. Llama 4, of course, is their open source LLM, will become the leading state-of-the-art model.
Right.
Some CapEx numbers in there, too.
To power this, this, guys, listen, Meta is building a 2 gigawatt plus data center that is so large it would cover a significant part of Manhattan. We're going to bring online 1 gigawatt of compute in 25. We'll end the year with more than 1.3 million GPUs.
Wow. So
and we're planning to invest. And again, Jim, I think these may be in line with the numbers, so I don't want to say that.
I'll tell you. I know the numbers.
65 billion in capex this year. 60 to 65 billion. That's a number they've been on.
Right? Well, remember, he has to have. Did he say that Meta AI is going to be number one? Because it isn't. Remember when he said Meta AI was going to be number one?
Yep.
It isn't. And he said it was going to be by last. This guy's I think this is
interesting that he chose
that it's going down because I think it's not
that he's put this out.
It didn't have any pizzazz.
Yep, massive effort over the coming years will drive our core products and business, unlock historic innovation, extend American technology leadership, says Mr. Zuckerberg.
Why?
But again,
stock's trading down on what? What phrase in that thing is negative? What phrase?
Well, I don't know. Maybe to the 60 to 65 billion in capex this year. Maybe that is just reiterating what people already anticipated. I know. I don't know.
Look, Microsoft's doing 80. I mean,
by the way, I would point out
it's good for Nvidia.
What I'm aware of in the financing markets and the way that some of these data center projects are structured, you're actually bringing in a good deal of private equity money. A lot of it in sort of debt or other kinds of financing. But it has the effect of lessening the capex expenditure on paper from a Meta. They are the tenant. Right. They will pay interest in the private credit markets by borrowing there to a certain extent to help as well.
But we should be.
I'm saying that the numbers are even larger.
But that means we should be looking at free cash flow. That's apples to apples.
Right.
And we have to find out free cash flow in that.
That's a good point.
Okay?
That's a good point.
Because it can't be triggered by a capitalization. We have to get that.
But again, when you just think about Meta just talking about creating data centers that are so large they will cover a significant part of Manhattan. I'm not sure what he talks about in significant.
You
get a sense here. By the way, back to our other theme that we'll endlessly talk about, you get a sense into the challenges for power and things of that nature.
Well, we have to spend so much time on power because we are beginning to get, when I've been dealing with these natural gas companies, they're being greenlit and they're not being talked about, and they're starting to realize why is everything being nuclear? Because nuclear is 7 to 8 years. Okay, 7 to 8 years. And if you go over the GE Vernova quarter, that's why Vernova. Someone downgraded GE Vernova today. That guy doesn't know what he's doing. The GE Vernova they've got all bases covered, but it's natural gas.
But
it's natural gas.
I mean, Parish Data Center in Louisiana is one of the biggest ones for Meta. And again, I'm telling you, the way that they structure this, it's not all their capex, so at least doesn't go down as all of theirs, because in some of it is private credit, is borrowing from. They're using the Apollos of the world, for example, to provide it. Let's see.
That's the Entergy project.
Right. They're the power provider.
Huge.
Yes.
Just huge.
The numbers are staggering.
Yeah, and this capex guidance will be hot relative to the street, just about 50 billion. I think.
Okay, that's the number.
So that's what they're going to say.
Jim.
That's
higher.
Going to say it's too expensive.
It's higher. Yeah.
I tell you, if you don't spend. People don't go back over what Jensen said. For every dollar you spend, you get $4 in return. So to me, Microsoft is the leader in this. And I know that Zuckerberg is behind because Zuckerberg, and by the way, Meta AI, I don't know if you guys are using it.
I don't use
really.
It. I use chat. I don't use
really.
Meta.
It's wild card weekend. That thing.
And I got to start using Gemini a little bit.
That does not make the playoffs. Meta AI is not in the playoffs.
We'll talk more about return on some of these investments. Cover the Economist is all about how the Chinese are doing this for a lot less money. But Julia Borston's watching these particular Meta numbers. Morning, Julia.
Good morning, Carl. Yeah, let's just put these capex numbers in context here. 60 to 65 billion on capex this year, as Meta says that they were going to be growing their AI teams significantly, also saying they'll have the capital to continue investing in the years ahead. He is saying this is a massive ramp up in spending on AI. To put this in context, it's up from $38 billion in capex in 2024, and analysts have been looking for 51 to 53 billion in capex for this year. So that's meaningfully ahead of that. Zuckerberg also talking about expectations for that Meta AI assistant tool to significantly grow in terms of its reach. So the last number they reported for Meta AI was 500 million at the end of the third quarter. That was at the end of October. Now they're saying they expect to hit 1 billion users of Meta AI this year, so a doubling this year. And just talking more about the importance of AI. Remember, this is a company that pivoted from focusing on ads and social media to the metaverse, and now it's really about AI driving everything going forward.
Meta sometimes does nothing but pivot, Julia.
Well, they are good,
view?
And he's a competitive guy, and the more you spend, still the better. I know there's still this camp out there which says, look, it's got to slow down. And there are a lot of people who feel
I'm telling you, it's understated, too. I'm telling you, because of the financing arrangements as well. The numbers are even higher.
But you're talking about Blackstone? You're talking about Blue Owl? Who are you talking about?
All of them are providing credit to the building of these data centers. Well, then therefore, Meta pays, or whomever will pay interest, as opposed to just showing even more capex, which they could, because they have the wherewithal to do it.
Why is Musk saying they don't have the money?
That's a different situation entirely that you're talking about.
No, I'm just saying that
Musk was saying they didn't have the money about the Stargate thing. He's not talking about this.
No. I'm just saying that there are people who think that that new entity, that to get in this game, there's only a couple companies in this game.
There's an enormous amount of capital that wants to help finance a lot of this stuff.
Absolutely.
If it can get a
return's
return.
Good.
And your end user are the biggest companies in the world. Nobody's questioning their ability to pay you back.
Well, the first 100 billion is more than double the cash on hand for SoftBank and Oracle.
Maybe he's got
to sell ARM.
What's talking about? Yes, sell ARM.